Well, it's good to be back, and the program is still Good Morning Abuja, coming to you from the Unity Station, NTA Channel 5 Abuja. Well, now we'll be looking at what universal health coverage is, and then how can the people of Nigeria have a health system without any financial stress and everything. So we have an expert in the house in person of Professor Chima Onoka, a public health physician and health system economist. Well, you have to explain that to us. Good morning and welcome to the studio,
Good morning.
sir.
Thank you very much.
I saw a professor, and also a doctor, and then public health physician, health system economist. Well, that's a lot. Welcome to the studio, sir.
Thank you very much. Good to be
So, we're looking at the universal health coverage. What is that in the layman's term? Because I don't know what it is.
here. Okay, good. Okay, universal health coverage means basically that everyone, and I mean everyone, in a defined location, let's say Nigeria,
Okay.
has, access to the health care service they need of acceptable quality.
Okay.
Okay, and then by using it, they don't have to get into incurring financial hardship because
Okay.
they use that quality health service.
Do we have it in Nigeria? Has it been here?
No,
Oh, it's something
we
that
are
we're
very
expecting.
far,
Okay.
very far from it. Very,
Okay.
very far.
Okay, so what are the goals of this universal health?
Okay, so when for people who need health service, and everybody gets to need it at some point in life, and for many of us, we need it so many times
Yeah.
in life. It's important that people get health care.
Okay.
What we'll talk about as access. So, if the health service that is of acceptable quality is there, and when you need it, you can get to the place, and then it can be delivered to you. Whether you end up using it or not is a different thing.
Okay.
That's around utilization. But you have it available, and you can use it if you need it.
Okay.
And then, so it has to be accessible. Then it has to be available as well, So it's not, things are there. We've built a health center, we've built a hospital, it has everything. Well, can it get to me? Is it really there for me?
Okay.
And then it also has to be affordable. If you set up all of that and I can't pay for it, then I can't
like
use
this.
it at the end of the day. And then the quality has to be right as well. And then while you're trying to see that people use it, it will not be such that there is gross, what we'll call inequity.
Okay.
Basically, there are things that we can control and shape to make sure that everybody has an equal chance of using it. If there are deviations from that, maybe because of gender, color, tribe, whatever it is, or financial standing. So this service is there, but I can't pay for it. Then there's a problem.
Yeah.
It's not, it's inequitable. There's no
Okay.
equity in that system. So you want everybody to have access, but not to get into financial.
But is it possible
Problems.
to have that access of, when you say affordable, and
Yes.
then of the right standard? Can we have the two?
Yes, so that's where all kinds of things come in. First of all, there are big countries, high-income countries that have got to that point.
Okay.
And then there are also countries that you consider, that were somewhere around where they are, low and middle-income countries, like Thailand, that have also got to that point.
Okay.
And will I say, what we call, for instance, let me use the terminology of health insurance. But health insurance means a lot of complicated things. It's not as simple as what is mentioned, health insurance. So, but what we call it, and let me focus our minds a bit on looking at that as universal health coverage.
Okay, and
If
it's
we
not the
use-
same with NHIS.
No, so I'll get to talk about NHIS.
Okay.
So first of all, you want to achieve this coverage, everybody. A place like Nigeria, there are many figures that are talked about out there because of how things have been developing. Some people will say 3%, some say 5, 6. Some are saying 10% of Nigerians, but I think those are figures that we need to sort out along the line. Places like Ghana is a lot more. Rwanda, you have people that have gone to 40% and climbing.
Okay.
So a place like Thailand that fits our own description of things also, they've achieved universal health coverage.
So
meaning
do you
everybody.
think we can achieve this?
We can if we do the right things.
What
And
are the
that's
right
where
things?
the problem begins. You know, it's a complex situation.
Okay.
It's something that draws, first of all, from the overall psyche of a nation. It's not something that is a health sector or NHIS, now NHIA agenda or
Okay.
Ministry of Health agenda. It is first a political agenda. It's a
Okay.
movement that involves citizens, government, all sectors,
Everybody.
everybody, because we see health as a foundation for growth and development overall. Not that health is what you're playing chess, you do this and you win, and health is much more than that. Some people
It should
kind
be.
of will look at health as, oh, we are trading this and we're trading this money, what is the output from it, So it's a whole of society decision.
Okay.
So the first thing is that leaders mobilize the society, or the citizens, if they are well informed, put pressure on leaders to
do
move
that.
in that direction. So one of those two things. If literacy level is poor, if political understanding citizens, if citizens are easily manipulated by politicians, they are not strong, they don't have a voice, it's not going to happen. So a leader can emerge who chooses it as an agenda.
Okay.
And then it starts shaping the economic conversations, social conversations, political conversations, and health conversations. Because it's going to cost people, it's going to cost a lot, it's going to engage human resources, it's going to mean that systems, governance arrangements are disrupted and
Okay.
set right, in a way that the health system structure itself will have to be adjusted
Yeah.
to move us in that direction. And doing that, you need to have a good understanding of the political economy of the setting. Then start moving towards, are you willing to fund the movement? You're going to step on toes. You're going to, it's going to affect distribution of health workers. Some of it, you're going to need to change how certain things are done. It's going to go into procurement systems. I'll give you an example. You see, we engage in vaccines. We
Yeah.
don't produce vaccines in Nigeria.
So with that, we will need to start.
We are just at the end point. That is just consuming vaccines. We're not involved in research for it, development of the products, production of the products. We're not involved in any of this. We just consume it. Okay. So it will affect drugs, how we see our manufacturing sector. It will affect issues around taxation. Is there a willingness to, like some of the medications that are going to be used, is there a willingness to drop taxes on whether the infrastructure that you need for manufacturers of drugs, so that cost is reduced and that's cheaper for your system?
Okay.
It affects everything. It's going to affect how citizens are engaged.
That's why I asked you if you think we can achieve this.
We can, and it requires leadership.
And I think this is something that needs to be discussed again, over and over again, because it's concerning the health of everybody.
Correct.
Not just one person, but the whole nation.
Correct.
Before we let you go, Professor Chima, I would like you to give a word of advice to everybody, because this is health in a cheaper way
Yes.
and in a better way.
Quality health
Quality health.
in a cheaper way. So my advice would be that, you know, for every one of us, we should remember, and COVID has taught us that if one person is not protected, everybody is at risk. We need to make up our minds to move forward. Things in the world show us that, look, we are having pandemics. We are basically like the next pandemic is going to happen anytime. We need to be ready. Countries that really succeed and survive real pandemics, they have a robust plan and process for reaching universal health coverage. So we need to do everything, and it's every citizen's business. It's not government. Let's put the government, let's put leaders under pressure, and let's do what we can to see that we achieve universal health coverage.
Very good one. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate you being on the program, and we hope we will get there. We will get there. And we've been speaking to Professor Chima Onaka, a public health physician and a health system economist, and we've been discussing the universal health coverage and how we can achieve it here in Nigeria. It is achievable, we can do it, and it is everybody's business. We're going to short break and our market survey comes up.